Julian and I founded our biomedical consulting firm 8 years ago, building it into a highly profitable enterprise that pioneered non-invasive laser surgical technologies. I handled the core technology infrastructure, keeping our proprietary hardware schematics, firmware source code, and client testing pipelines completely secure, while Julian managed the corporate financing and external venture capital relations. As our firm grew toward a massive public valuation, Julian's greed grew exponentially with it. He began demanding a larger share of the future stock options, claiming that securing international capital was far more valuable than maintaining the underlying physics and software architecture. I flatly refused to alter our original 50-50 equal partnership charter. That is when Julian decided to eliminate me from the firm entirely. While I was away out of state for a week attending a global medical engineering compliance summit, Julian saw his window of opportunity to execute a hostile corporate takeover. He ordered a corrupt network administrator to access our secure document repository and manually upload a fraudulent corporate amendment, using an old digital scan of my signature from an expired insurance document to authorize the change. When the corporate liquidators arrived on Monday morning, Julian believed he had executed a flawless corporate maneuver. He showed me the altered digital agreements, stated that my founder equity was legally void, and gave me 15 minutes to pack my personal belongings and leave the high-rise premises. He smiled as he informed me that the foreign medical conglomerate had already wired the final asset transfer to a shell company registry based in Switzerland, telling me that a simple hardware programmer stood zero chance against a corporate legal team. Julian assumed I would panic, hire a standard local business lawyer, and spend years drowning in bankrupting civil litigation while he lived in luxury abroad. He completely failed to understand that when your entire business relies on digital blueprints and cloud servers, you should never pick a fight with a military-grade security engineer. I walked straight to my car, opened my laptop, tethered it to my secure mobile network, and logged directly into an off-site, decentralized backup matrix that I had legally established under an encrypted open-source development license before ever partnering with his firm. When a corrupt executive tries to steal your lifetime of hard work, you do not look for a compromise. You execute a complete forensic audit of their entire digital footprint. I initiated a deep dive comparison between the corporate amendments Julian used to terminate my contract and the hidden, unalterable server event database logs. Because our firm's internal network automatically timestamps and records the unique hardware MAC address of any terminal making a data entry, the truth was instantly visible. The fraudulent partnership amendment had never been signed using my physical security key or my verified digital certificate. The server event trail proved that the document was uploaded at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning from a single computer terminal located inside Julian's personal downtown penthouse. He had directly forged the digital signatures and manually overwritten our original equal equity operational records. But my forensic analysis uncovered an even more devastating corporate crime. While tracking Julian's user profile history across the international patent databases, I discovered a hidden network protocol he had established to copy and export sensitive, federally restricted biomedical research files. For 3 straight years, Julian had been inflating the automated hardware production costs, routing the excess millions into a shell company registry based in Panama, while leaking protected technological schematics to international competitors in direct violation of federal trade export laws. I compiled the unassailable network event logs, the matching penthouse IP address tracking records, the forged signature metadata, and the complete international industrial espionage ledger into an ironclad corporate compliance dossier. I bypassed local authorities completely and delivered this data packet directly to the Federal Patent Office, the Department of Commerce Bureau of Industry and Security, and the Criminal Investigation Department of the Department of Justice. The corporate and federal counterstrike was absolute, instantaneous destruction. On Wednesday afternoon, Julian was hosting a private luncheon at an upscale restaurant with the executives of the foreign medical conglomerate, preparing to toast the final multi-million-dollar blueprint acquisition. Before the main course could be served, 2 federal agents accompanied by financial fraud investigators entered the dining room. They served Julian and the corporate legal team with an immediate federal-level emergency injunction that instantly halted the asset transfer, suspended his engineering and financial management licenses, and placed a hard freeze on his private shell accounts, blocking the multi-million-dollar wire transfer in transit. When Julian tried to claim that the database logs were circumstantial, the federal prosecutors presented the digital signature metadata showing the exact timestamps matching his personal penthouse network usage. The conglomerate executives, horrified to find themselves entangled in a high-level federal criminal conspiracy and international trade violation, instantly voided the acquisition papers, canceled the deal, and turned over all their personal emails with Julian to the prosecution team. The fallout completely obliterated Julian's engineering career and personal freedom. The federal court fast-tracked our partnership lawsuit, and within 2 weeks, a judge officially declared the fraudulent amendment completely void, permanently stripping Julian of his board position and his remaining 50% shares due to a standard bad faith clause in our original corporate charter. I was granted sole absolute control of the investment firm, the laboratory facility, and all underlying software and hardware patents. Julian's private assets were fully liquidated to pay back the millions he stole from the firm and to cover massive federal fines. He is currently serving a significant federal sentence for wire fraud, identity theft, and corporate embezzlement under international trade restriction violations. Julian wanted to use a rigged corporate rule to steal my business, and he ended up losing his status, his wealth, and his freedom.